Hey, I hope your week's going well so far. Let me ask you a question. Well, actually, before I ask you the question, think about this. Have you ever heard, this is a question. Have you ever heard the saying, practice makes perfect? Practice makes perfect. I've probably heard it dozens and dozens of times through my life. And it's one of those things that everyone goes, yeah, practice makes perfect. But here's the problem. From my experience, I'm not convinced. In fact, there's two things. I'm not sure the practice actually makes you perfect. It makes you better, but does it make you perfect? I don't know. But secondly, why do we need to be perfect? Because I think that actually this pursuit of perfection is something that doesn't help us at all, right? So let me just explain. I have been a perfectionist pretty much all my life, and I don't know about you, but that's certainly something I've always felt like I had to be perfect, and I'm going to come back to the reasons for that in just a minute. But all my life I've thought, got to be perfect, got to do the best I possibly can. Can't put stuff out there unless it's perfect. Whatever that is, videos, if I'm writing something, anything at all, had to be perfect, right? Now, the problem is that perfection is just impossible. It really is impossible to be perfect. And trying to be perfect all the time sucks the joy out of stuff, because instead of looking at how good you've done something, you just look at it and go, it's not perfect. So here's the thing. They say practice makes perfect. I actually say perfection makes procrastination. Because when you're trying to be perfect all the time and you can't be, which is 99.9% of the time, that just causes you pain, another P word. And so instead of doing what you need to do, in the back of your mind, you just think, if I do this, it won't be perfect. That's going to cause pain. And so that's one of the biggest causes of procrastination, is the fact that you are trying to avoid the pain of not being perfect. So instead of taking action, you don't do it, or you just keep practicing and practicing and practicing, but you never actually put what it is out there and take the risk that it may not be perfect, it might cause pain, and so you're in this crazy cycle, right? So I want to turn all this stuff around and say that I think practice makes perfect is rubbish. Okay, let's forget that. Think about this. Perfectionism causes procrastination, and maybe you can relate to that. So the big question is, okay, how do you get over that? How do you get past the perfectionism? And let me just go back to the causes of perfectionism, okay? Because I reckon there's two basic ones. The one which I suffered from was, as a kid, my parents didn't hug me that much. And so I've looked back and I've thought, in a weird way, I just thought, as a little kid, I thought, why wasn't my mum hugging me? There must be something wrong. And then I thought, what do I do about that? How do I overcome that? And in my child's brain, I thought, I just have to be perfect. Maybe I'm bad. I just need to be better. And if I'm good enough, then my parents will love me and they'll hug me and I'll feel good. So all my life, I've pursued that perfectionism. I've just thought, if I'm just better, if I'm just perfect, then people will love me. And of course, that's been a recipe for pain and loneliness and all kinds of stuff, because you just can't be perfect, right? So that's one cause of perfectionism, is that striving to make someone happy, to make someone love you more. And the other cause of perfectionism is just that avoidance of pain. So you've done something in the past, it wasn't perfect, you've got hammered for that, and somehow in your brain you end up saying, I never want to experience that pain again. So if it's not perfect, I'm just not going to do it, because I don't want to risk the pain. So how do you overcome that? Well, I think the first thing is you just got to recognize what's going on in your brain, and maybe think about, is it one of those two things that is causing you to want to be perfect? And once you recognize that, it actually makes it a hell of a lot easier to just go, I can't be perfect. That's impossible. I can be good, but I can't be perfect. And, if you need therapy, I know, get therapy. But often recognizing what's driving you is enough. And the second thing is, let's rewrite the P words. So instead of practice makes perfect, instead of perfection causes procrastination, I would say this one: putting it out there makes progress. Putting it out there makes progress. And at the end of the day, that's what we need. Because the only thing that is going to help you get to your goals, that's going to make your dreams come true, that's going to build your business, is taking action. And the only way that you can take action is just to put it out there, right? Now, the beautiful thing about putting it out there and just doing it, so, instead of waiting until whatever it is perfect before you do it, you just make it good and then you put it out there. And that gives you some progress in two ways, right? First of all, you start, getting results on whatever it is that you put out there. If you're writing something, a post, you just put it out there and people will read it, and some people will like it and some people will respond. But also, you can put it out there and you go, wow, I need to improve that. And guess what? You can. The next time you post, you learn and you post better. Or whatever it is that you're doing, a workshop or even a conversation, you just put it out there and that gives you feedback, and the next time around, you can just make it better. But the idea that you have to be perfect is going to slow your progress down. It's going to cause procrastination. It's going to ultimately cause pain. So you don't want all those things. So let me just leave you with this thought, okay? You don't have to be perfect. You are fine exactly the way that you are. So just remember that. Think about what might drive you to want to be perfect, and see if you can get over those things, recognize what they are, and then just put stuff out there, okay? Put it out there, and that will give you progress. And let me tell you, getting progress in anything feels so good. That's not a pain thing, that's a pleasure thing, another P word. So the progress leads to pleasure and ultimately to pursuing your dreams. Hope you have an awesome day today. I'm going to go and give my best, but let's forget about perfection, because that is just a cause for pain. So do your best, have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you again. Bye.